kuna trick bro nili notice. So in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And God said, let there be.
And there was.
Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Seek and thou shalt find. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Bro, maybe ni comedy, but as a spoken word artist, leo nitaka kuongea kuhusu word. Word. Yo wase, ni your Reverend Rasta Kiki Masai. As usual, this is a new episode of Thinking and Living Outside the Box. You know, I'm telling my truth. I want to hear your truth. You know, remember how it is? Because we are seeking the truth. Na leo nitaka tubonge kuhusu word. Na niko based on hiyo phrase nimeanza nayo. In the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Emphasis on, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Sacha tumedi wadau. Acha nikupeleke kwa deep waters. You know, like sometimes tunamisigi the whole concept of the world because to pay attention to the little details. We are created in the image and likeness of God. We are creators. We are representations of God. And how did God create? God said, let there be. And there was. The secret is in the Word. Because the Word is God. But today Christianity imekuwa confused sana. Because mapasta wengi wana preach the Word of God. Wana separate God from the Word. But God ndio the Word na the Word ndio God. You can separate God from the Word. You can preach the Word of God, but you can preach the Word that is God. Because God is the Word. You gonna get? And the Word is God, and the Word was with God. And God said, let there be, and there was. So in short, ukisema let there be, there must be. Not there should be, there must be, because the Word is of God, and you are a representation of godliness. So you are the Word. And the Word is you. So how then can we not be elevated to the highest point of godliness? You know, like Biblia imekuambia secret, like clearly, ask and it shall be given unto you. How often do we ask? You know, like how often do we ask? And when we ask, how often do we believe? Not just in ourselves, but in God as the provider, as everything. Unaget, because hizi ndo zile vitu mingi zenye mizi na nibamba miles that na feel sijui mbona tuna miss. You know, when you tell me you're preaching the gospel of Christ, then I remind you that Christ is the gospel. So you can't preach the gospel of Christ. You can only preach the gospel that is Christ. Because Christ is the gospel, and the gospel is Christ. Christianity is the followers of the gospel of
Christ.
And that's the mistake. Because the gospel is not of Christ, the gospel is Christ. And those who follow Christ then understand the only way to follow Christ is to connect with your godliness, is to connect with the self, with you. You know, is to get rid of all desires of this universe that trap you, you know, and to give yourself wholly to the manifestation of godliness in whatever manner. You know, becoming the nothing so that every time you're something. So that every time you become anything that you're meant to be. Because we don't have a choice. You know, we are just vessels. You know, we are a clean slate at every time. Sometimes God needs you to be this so that He can use this story to create the next phase of your life. You know, you've known of criminals who changed into pastors.
True.
You know, So God needed him to be in crime. God saved his life all those times so that at the end of the day, he could use him to preach the gospel that is God. Because every time he preaches, he says, I was, I am. And I am is a manifestation. That is why in the book, when Moses asked God, who should I say send me? God said, I am. And I am is one of the biggest manifestations that people misuse every day. When you refer to I am, never confess problems after I am, because I am is a representation of the God in you and the God that is and the God that is the Word. So when I say I am prosperous, then I am prosperity itself. When I say I am a negative connotation, then I become that negative connotation. You know.
Watu wajipende in short.
Exactly, yeah. Start learning that you are the power that is the good. You're not the force of good, you're the force that is good. Goodness must be you and you must be goodness for goodness to be manifested around you. You must be one with self. You know, you must understand the Trinity, the holiness. You must balance the good and the bad in self, the yin and yang. You know, you must master your desires. That is how you become closer to God. You know, na ndio maana hii time yote tunapreachigi hapa hivi, sometimes we talk about different things, but you know, as we go along tunakukumbusha mbona naitagwa Reverend Rasta Kiki Masai. Yeah, because kuna manifestations mingi sana za life na zote ndizo tunataka kubonga, and as we remind you in each and every episode, this is my truth. You know, I want to hear your truth and let's seek the truth, because hakuna msi anaweza tell the truth. You know, so Reverend Rasta Kiki Masai, thinking and living outside the box is the show. Until the next episode, peace out.